Well, today we're looking at Psalm 105, looking at God's faithfulness to his people. What period of history interests you the most? Some people are war histories like World War I or World War II in specific. Some look at like early ancient history. Some couldn't care what they did last week. But there's value to history because it's the story of how we got here. Even your own personal history. So maybe you're not into world history, but maybe you like reading biographies. That's a personal history. Um, but just for yourself, do you have an event in your life that you remember, that you recall it at times because maybe it was traumatic? Maybe it was because you learned some lessons from that, maybe hard lessons, maybe lessons that you wish you might have learned a different way, or lessons that came through a difficult thing, and maybe even brought some healing, or at least you saw some value that came. This Psalm 105 is a recitation of some history of God with his covenant people, a reminder of God's faithfulness. And now, why would the people of God, why would the nation of Israel at this time need to remember their own history? There's lessons that are good for them to continue to remember about God, about their own interactions with God or the nations surrounding them. Some good, some bad, and yeah, there is some ugly. Today, I actually just want to encourage you to read this Psalm, Psalm 105. And read it because this isn't just the history of the people of Israel way back in the day. This is actually part of your history. We are today the church, the covenant people of God. We've been grafted into the old covenant people of God. And so this history, it was Jesus' history. As a human being, the human aspect of Jesus, I mean, he was from the line that this is history, his story, his family story, the covenant people of God's story. So as you read this, again, just try to put yourself in maybe what lessons, what things come to mind. But also I'll encourage you one step further today. And that's to consider writing, it's a project here, writing your personal history. Not simply a story of your life, but the story of God in your life. Whether you knew it, he was there at the time or not. Put him at the center of all the things that you have experienced. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you. May the Lord be gracious to you. And today, would you know his peace? God bless.